Hey guys, welcome back to Grim Reaper for another video for Raid Shadows. Today we are going to go over the news and stuff like that and bits and bobs going on in Raid. So I do want to have a look. I've kind of already looked into this, but I kind of want to watch it with you guys. So we're going to go into this. I'm just going to bring it up on my browser, and then I want to do like a bit of feedback on this and just see and just give you my opinion on this and stuff like that. It's definitely very interesting and stuff like that. So I kind of just want to look into it and
hello everyone.
See if
we
you
have a
guys
rather
agree
special
with me.
update coming down the pipe, and we wanted to highlight it with a sneak peek video rather than our usual text highlights. We've got Raid Call of the Arbiter premiering very soon with 10 episodes of animated story goodness. And
I'm kind of looking forward to this.
You want more, and you want it in game.
You know,
well,
I think it looks cool as well
to give you more ways to find out about favorite champions. If you wanted lore,
let's see.
As lore is the watchword of
what's going on.
7.10. First and foremost, champion bios are coming to Raid in the form of a new champion lore tab, which you can access in the index.
I think this is cool.
Or the portal immediately after summoning a champion.
Some people like it, some people won't.
First, but we are working hard to ensure that changes going forward. The first batch of champion bios will feature some of the characters that star in Raid Call of the Arbiter, as well as fan-favorite legendaries. Our plan is to then add new champion bios in regular batches.
Hedgie needs a buff, by the way, player.
Populate the world of Raid with awesome stories. This may take some time, and we may not get to everyone. There are over.
Hopefully they don't just do legendaries as well. Hopefully they do, you know, the epics and rares.
Pre-existing Raid lore. The launch of Raid Call of the Arbiter limited series will be the biggest thing happening to the world of Raid since.
I think this could bring in a lot of players into the game. I think if this will open up all sorts of doors, and it's definitely really interesting where they're going to go with this and if this will be useful or not. And I'm looking forward to it myself, like as a big Raid player and stuff like that. The graphics will be really good. Hopefully the storyline's really decent, and we'll see where this goes. But you know, hopefully it's not one-off as well. Hopefully they keep this up.
It's worldwide release. In truth, we didn't expect the lore to expand as it did, and as a result, some of our earlier lore works didn't fit the stories we wanted to tell with Raid Call of the Arbiter. This means that early champion stories and stuff like the comics we released for Kyle, Elhain, and Gaelic, for example, don't quite match up with Teleria.
I think, like,
as it is now. Consider these as Teleria Apocrypha, if you will, or non.
I don't think they should do it as Apocrypha. Maybe like as a different universe, right? And allow champions to have maybe multiple stories. They can kind of grow that in their own way as like a as episodes, stuff like that go on. They could dig into other stories and stuff like that. We've seen a lot of big films like Marvel, DC already do this kind of thing where there's like multiverse and stuff like that. And I think that they just kind of close it down a bit too quickly without thinking where that can go, but that's my opinion, I suppose.
Anything you see in-game from this point on is the truth. But lore is just the first step in our grand plan. We've got tons of cool things planned to integrate Call of the Arbiter into Raid. We're talking events, new champions, special rewards. It's going to be epic. This special button in your Bastion is your portal to all things Raid Call of the Arbiter. Tapping on this will bring up a brand new tab where you can watch each episode of the limited series and share it on social media. Watching
free resources, I'll take it. Could be a bit more NG though, couldn't it?
Each episode via this tab and sharing on social media will get you rewards. If an episode reaches a certain number of views on YouTube, everyone gets a reward. Each episode.
Hopefully they don't make stupid targets for these videos, because they kind of did this with a sponsor like 1.5 million when they got that view, and when I saw that Legendary Tome there for like 1.5, I knew it was never going to hit that really. Like, I looked at the channel and looked at the views overall, you know, had 4 million subscribers, but then wanted 1.5 views. Maybe a long term, but they obviously put a date on it, and I was like,
So it also has a secret code hidden within, which you can decipher and enter in to earn, you guessed it, more rewards. We'll also be running a 7-day loyalty program.
Now, this is interesting. I actually think this is the champion and going with the fusion. If I remember from How Hades' video, they had an axe. And this has an axe. And it's got these things down here where it looks like, I wonder if we can find a picture of it somewhere. Let me just take a look in Discord and see if there's any pictures in the feedback. Let's have a look. In the notes, let's have a look. No, that's redeem something else. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like it. Maze Champions, there we are. Okay, let's have a look at this. See, it has an axe, right? And I think when you go to How Hades' video, pretty sure it's him. Now, obviously, there's precision sets, so they're saying that you need accuracy, right? And I think this is the champion. And if I'm correct, you're going to want to do the fusion. So, listen, these fusions are not hard, and I'll get into this. Actually, I spoke about the fusion last week on last week's video, so go and watch that and see what my reports are. She hasn't hard here, but there isn't a picture for me to show you. But
where you'll be able
he does
to
have an
new
axe.
character from the limited series as a
I'm about
champion.
9% sure he has an axe.
As for the rewards themselves, here's one of them. This fancy new artifact set. It's called Righteous, and it's a 2-piece set that increases your champion speed by 10%.
Okay, so I was talking about this earlier, and a speed set gives you 12% speed as a 2-piece set. So you lose 2% speed, but gain 40 resistance. Now, we know how powerful precision sets have been for the content, and since this came out, it's probably top 3 sets in the Forge. It's definitely still amazing, even with mythical gear out there and stuff like that. And they haven't given us mythical yet in the Forge, but I do believe it'll come. It makes no sense not to bring it in at some point. As the set itself, I actually really like the set, and this will give you Hydra. This is a nerf for Hydra, this set, because resistance is big on certain champions. You won't need to craft like 60 sets of it or 10 sets of it. You know, you would only need it for a small amount of champions for Hydra. So this is definitely a really good Hydra set. I personally build champions with precision sets, right? I look for speed, accuracy, and resistance substats to counter the Hydra. And you could generally do the same with this. You could look for the speed and then the resistance and accuracy as well. If you have a max Great Hall and you're running 3 sets of this, max Great Hall is 80. Yeah, then the average champion has another 80. And then you bring in 3 of these sets, which is like 80 for 120. That's like 280 resistance just then. Then imagine if you have a resistance aura. Let's say you brought in another champion like Ollie, right, who was a recent fusion and everyone said that was pretty trash. If you bring her in, oh, you got resistance up as well. This is a really good set for Twin Tower. I think this is going to be a really good set for any type of P versus E content, and I'm not too sure how I kind of see it for Arena at the moment, because it gives you increased speed and resistance. I think that it could be a very good set on certain champions like Sifi, right? Sifi with this type of build could be kind of nutty and stuff like that. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this set, but I'm actually really looking forward to this. I think it looks really cool as well. So
and gives them
I think it's going to shake up Platinum Arena, if I'm honest.
Shabby. These righteous artifacts will also
You're going to see more resistance builds.
Dedicated to raid Call of
Big
the
nerf for
Don't miss your chance to grab as many of these
for
awesome
Warlord, I think.
artifacts as you can. Next up, the quality of life improvements
And don't forget, Yumiko is huge right now in the meta, so
we promised in the last What's Next in Raid video are coming live with update 7.10. It's been a while though, so let's recap. First, we're separating multi-battle settings and separating them between game modes and, in a few cases, individual dungeons. Furthermore, we'll expand your options for selling artifacts that your champions farm during multi-battle sessions. When the update goes live, you'll be able to sell artifacts more, and in a few battle settings and separating them.
Q champions will automatically swap them out when they hit max level. Continue your battle. Auto sell gear filter. I thought there was going to be more multi-battle zone for a second when they said that there was going to be able to give you
And between
the
game
option.
modes and, in a few cases, individual dungeons. Furthermore, we'll expand your options for selling artifacts that
I mean,
your
if they give you
champions farm during
dungeons,
multi-battle sessions.
they did
When
give
the
you
update goes
like
live, you'll be
you
able
got
to choose which
55
artifacts you
for
want to keep based on their rank, rarity, type,
the
set, specific subsets,
finite and
or
Sandevil.
any combination of those. Farming has never been easier. Speaking of artifacts, we're also adding the ability to sort artifacts and accessories by stats. You'll have no trouble finding the gear you need now. And finally, we're going to sort out the Fragment Summons tab and hide unavailable champions from the list, except those you have fragments for. This will make managing your fragments so much easier. To wrap this sneak peek up, we have several awesome new champions to
This champion looks really cool, by the way. We're going to go over his kit shortly.
show off. Ogren fans will be happy to know a brand new legendary is joining their faction, but we also have a couple of fierce elven warriors and a dashing barbarian ruler to even things out.
Oh, it's
Check out
not-
our social media. We'll post
Okay, so I'm wrong about the champion because it's not axe, it's a hammer. And he's got no skulls here.
the skill tables for these
So it's not
champions
his champion.
separately. And that's it for today. We hope you guys are excited to see Raid Call of the Arbiter as much as we are.
Yeah, Call of Arta would be cool. Something different. Won't have to play it, will be, so we could just watch it. Okay, so let's go over the kits of the new champions then and kind of see what's going on in the game. So I've gone over the fusion already, and I'll ping the video at the top of here. You can go watch that and you see what I think about the fusion. But my general advice for fusion is gold, and you never know when something gets buffed, nerfed, something comes in meta, something will help you with recent content. Like Nuts built a auto team with resistance up with her, right, and counter attack. So that just kind of tells you that you don't know when something is useful. And we look at these kits and think, cool. Now a lot of people are going to go after that champion and kind of regret it, right, and try pulling shards, and shards is just way more expensive. We know we've got shard events twice a week now. That's not going anywhere, you know, and unfortunately, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, we're going to go over this. So we've got Crimson Horn, attacks one enemy, heals itself by 20% of this damage dealt, has a 40% chance of increasing the duration of 2 random debuffs on the target by 1 turn. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of removing 2 random debuffs from an enemy, has a 75% chance of removing buffs from all enemies, even if it lands a weak hit, as the giant is on the same team, so it can't weak it. and it's on 3-turn cooldown. Also places a continuous heal on all allies for 2 turns. Fully heal a target ally. Also places block buff on all allies for 2 turns. Attacks all enemies, has a 55% chance of decreased speed on the attacker for 2 turns. Listen, this is a really good Hydra kit. Yeah, I'm gonna call this now. Like, he's got continuous heal. He has removes buffs, and like normally when they take a buff from you, like mischief. And I do a lot of Hydra takeovers, right? So I generally know in Hydra what's going on and stuff like that. And I see this as a really good ability. Now, a lot of people are saying that she's going to be good in Arena or she's stuff like that. I generally think she'll be good actually in Hydra. She'll bring you AoE defense down, and only Hydra in normal and hard. I don't think she has the utility to go above that, and I don't know if he has the same, but for like the 2 smallest levels, maybe Brutal or Push, I can generally see that these 2 would be good for Hydra. She brings the defense down, she brings a critical rate buff for the team, so you can build like less critical rate for the team and stuff like that. Now if you have Ollie, she brings you resistance up, resistance aura like he does as well, and he can bring block damage for 2 turns, and then you have increased resistance up as well, and you could build like a team between them 3 for something. You could speed tune it. I kind of feel that will work. If you bring increased defense, you probably can survive a bit longer as well, and he's generally a good affinity against Wrath as well, so that's something to bear in mind. And I think he has a really cool kit. So Iron Gut is what everyone is really talking about. People are calling this the mini Krisk, or another type of Chris, and I'm a big fan of Chris. Chris is my favourite champion in the game. I think he's definitely underrated these days, Chris, but attacks all enemies, places a shield buff on all allies, set this champion for 1 turn. The value of the shield is proportional of this champion's defense. So it kind of works like a HP shield, right? Like a Krisk. The more defense you build, the higher your shield is, which means that it's not like Helicat or Valkyrie. So it's definitely, listen, like, I feel if he did get a Valkyrie shield or anything like that, it'd be really dangerous. But I'm really interested to see where this would go with the resistance up set. You get speed, 40 resistance, and then you got shield on E1, and then you can possibly make that shield non-resistance. And does it stack on top of bolster as well? That would be another one to kind of think about, which could be generally interesting, right? Attacks all enemies, heals this champion by 10% when damage is dealt, increases the duration of all allies by 1 turn. All buffs on all allies by 1 turn on a 3-turn cooldown. Okay, so I suppose that's similar to Chris because sheer passive, and this is a similar version of the extension, but there's a lot of champions that extend. Attacks all enemies has a 75% chance of placing provoke for 1 turn. Then also places increased resistance buff and increased defense buff on all allies. So I was talking about the new set earlier becoming meta, and with this and Sheep, how strong Sheep is already, I think Piggy's days are numbered. I really do. They'll do lots of 10x's on this champion. Increased defense as well. Man, I wonder if this guy could smack as well. If you build this guy, you just build him like solid defense. You bring resistance up on himself. Like you won't strip the shield. If you build him correctly, you can build him slow as well because he's got speed already built into the sets. So it's like they've released his own set for him. Increases on ally. So he has a defense aura as well, man. So obviously you can bring defense down, right, to drop his defense really low. But if you put polymorph on him as well, which bear in mind, a level 4 polymorph on him would give him another 50 resistance and another 400 defense or 500 defense. I can't exactly remember. That's nasty, you know. And then you get sheeped as well, most likely. And you take Fizz of Presence as a tier 6 mastery. And he has an AoE. So you could even put him in a stun set. Or provoke set, because if he's got high defense, you ain't gonna be able to kill him that easy on A1s. I think this potential he has potential for stun set with Fizz of Presence tier 6. I think that could be a nasty build. Well, we'll have to see, right? Whenever this champion is attacked, heals or allies set this champion by 70%. The damage is received only healed by 30%. Okay, cool. This effect has no cooldown. Ouch. Places a unkillable buff on his champion for 1 turn before receiving a fatal kill. Fatal hit. Fuck. They built Swift Parry into him as well. Jesus. Listen, like, I'm not gonna read out the epics. Epics are not really anything worth changing. Headhunter then, I haven't really covered him yet in any of the notes, so let's have a quick look then. So before and after, we're just gonna do the after. That's the main thing. You can read his kit now if you want to see what he does. Attacks all enemies after attacking, so it's that same. This champion will sacrifice HP equivalent to 50% of their max HP, then places continual heal on all allies. This HP will happen even if it kills the champion. I just don't know. HP equal to 50% of the champion's at max HP, and then gains extra turn. I didn't have the extra turn last time. This HP, the HP levels of both this champion and the target will be brought down to the equal amount. The lowest HP does not work against bosses. This champion will not be killed by a skill, so it can't be killed by a skill. Revives this champion with 50% HP and turn meter when killed if other allies are alive. Does not work if there are multiple on the same team or if there are 3 or fewer champions on the team. Yeah, like it's definitely interesting. I don't think it's enough, if I'm honest. So this guy's had a tweak. They haven't used him much up here, so attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of stealing all debuffs from the target. Also places an increased defense debuff for 60% chance, of stealing a debuff from the enemy must turn meter. I still don't know if it's enough. Whenever 4 or more buffs are placed on this team is a single turn, places a shield buff on his champion equivalent to 30% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. Is it the same? No. Oh, so they've upped it by 15%. I don't know if it's enough, if I'm honest. Actually, we're just gonna have to see. They've not done much here at all. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, that's everything covered this week. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.